Hi, my name is Rob Duran. I'm the lead advisor for FRC Team 948 NRG.
My name is Jackie Zanizer. I mentor, the marketing team is the team that I directly mentor, but I also help out the business team. We are Ramen Robotics 9036.
Hi, my name is Kevin Free. I'm the lead mentor for 16750 and 2043, the Technototes at Sammamish High School.
Hi, I'm Randy Hua, Mech Mentor for Energy 948.
Hi, I'm Bailey Smornberg. I'm the head mentor for Sushi Squad, Team 7461.
So I'm Jason Onoda. I am the head coach for Woven Robotics, and I'm also a supporting coach for Ramen Robotics.
Hi, I'm Ed Reed. I'm a mentor on NRG 948, mentor for the programming team.
My name is Anne Marie Clark. I'm an advocacy mentor for 2412, the Robotote.
So I am an FRC alum myself, and I loved all of my mentors and stuff in high school. Really enjoyed robotics, obviously, and I kind of just wanted to give back to a community that had given me a lot. Yeah, just kind of giving the same opportunity to other students and other communities. And it's also just, as I've continued mentoring, I think the reason is just, it's incredibly inspiring and makes me feel like I'm doing something really good. Yeah, year after year, just seeing the growth in the students that I work with it's the coolest thing in the world.
So my first story began when another teacher invited me to join the team. He wanted help. And as soon as I joined the team, I realized how many of my different interests First Robotics included. I grew up as an athlete and as a hyper nerd, and robotics provided everything that I was looking for in an activity. So all of my different interests kind of collided into one activity, and it's done in such a thoughtful way to allow students and the adults involved to work creatively, collaboratively, in a very productive way that provides the students with an opportunity to grow into a career of their choice.
I think one of the most memorable times was the first time the Robototes testified. It was during COVID, so they testified remotely to the House Legislative Education Committee in support of a bill that expands the way people can get high school credit, including, hopefully, credit for robotics and other competitive STEM activities.
It's hard for me to pinpoint a specific instance. There have been a few instances where, as a mentor, I try to stay off the field entirely during competitions. But when you see either something go really well or really poorly, both of those stand out in my mind. There's been a few where when we won interleagues and we knew we were headed to state, that was really exciting, and it's great to see sort of the final matches where you realize oh, our team won. At the same time, there have been some instances where things have gone awry, and those are equally memorable, where it's oh, particularly as a mentor, you're you know what caused it, and the kids just didn't land. So yeah, we had one instance this past season where an odometry pod failed during autonomous, and so the robot just flew across the field at full speed and disabled another robot, and all of the audience just gasped. And we knew what had happened as soon as we saw it, and so it was those are sort of the big moments. The smaller ones, I actually really enjoy watching kids see that what they've done turn into oh, I wrote some code and now the robot's moving around, or it was just a pile of metal parts and now it's grabbing things. So I really like watching the kids go from having never done this before to, hey, they're really able to do amazing things.
I think what I enjoy most about being a robotics mentor is getting a chance to work with all the kids, being there for them, being a mentor, really knowing that I'm having an impact, a positive impact, I hope, on the next generation of software engineers and robotics engineers and just plain fun people?
I love seeing the teamwork. I like to take the things that we're doing in robotics and tie that back to real world experiences for the students. A lot of times because I work in an office environment and I mentor the office teams basically. A lot of times I'll say, this is what this looks like in a real job where you're getting paid. You know, this is what that work looks like, or this isn't something you would ever really do a lot of, but you know, here is how that would look in a different situation. So I try to apply it to real life situations that you're all going to face in your future when you're adults working.
Yeah.
Acknowledging that students are students. For everything good and bad, good is that the capabilities of high school kids is more than most adults give the kids credit. And it's one of those words, like, I've come to realize that kids in general, you can push them more than they even think that they can achieve. And it's not so much of that you're dragging them across the finish line, it's that they intrinsically are capable of accomplishing those feats. At the same time, they are still kids. In the sense of that, the way that school has kind of taught them over the years is that it's okay to be last minute, pulling a one-liner to get that essay in, and then it's kind of good enough.
You know, I think ultimately it's the expectation that, well, when I first started mentoring, it was like, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to be building robots, right? I'm a mech mentor, so I'm just going to be doing mech stuff, right? But that's not the ultimate thing. I think it's, come in with the expectation that you're helping students in all facets. That includes project management and, thinking about all the not fun stuff, right? Like the rules and how to go and really organize the team and motivate the team. And, it's not just about building the robot, right? So I think those are some of the expectations to go in with. And then and then when build season starts, some of the challenges, it's the hours, of course, right? So it's trying to balance it with work, and sometimes I have a busy work schedule, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I really should go to robotics and try and help out as well. So sometimes that gets a little challenging.
I have no life outside robotics. That's not true. Actually, robotics is so fulfilling. It just gives me so much energy and fulfillment that I could take that into my day-to-day life with my kids, my coworkers. I'm always excited to describe, what we've been working on, what we've been doing, and sharing that with them.
Yeah, because I was a student on a robotics team, I went into engineering. I am an engineer professionally now, so that's very much like a very direct line to an impact that robotics has had on my life in general. I think continuing to mentor has given me a lot of skills that I end up using at work all the time.
Working together is really, really important, and working collaboratively is super important.
Keep trying, right? I mean, effort beats knowledge. Just keep trying.
Learn from mistakes and move forward. And it's one of my favorite things about robotics is nothing ever goes according to plan.
Learning how to fail and get up again and try again is the most important lesson.
The most important lesson in robotics is that failure is a stepping off point, and it's a very important step to take in the ultimate process of building a robot.
Be true to yourself, follow your passion.
Yes, you're a student on a robotics team, and that comes with all the things that are expected of you, I guess, as someone who contributes to the team. But also, like, there is a lot to life, and the general hierarchy of like your health, your mental health should come first, and then like family and school for sure. Anytime. That's the easy top 3. Robots after that.
Learning how to work together effectively to achieve a common goal, despite the pressure, and holding each other up and accountable, and to be invested in each other's success.